Another tool that's very useful inside GIMP is the color selection tool. I'm going to open the image I have on my desktop here with GIMP. I took care to take a picture of myself in front of a background that had a color that was very distinct from my wardrobe and my skin color. Uh, to get started here, I'm going to use the crop tool to make sure I have only myself in front of, oh, looks like I didn't quite grab enough there. Let's see, put it right here. Got a little bit above my head, a little bit to the left of my arm, and drag it a little bit over here. So now I have just myself in front of this orange. Next, what I'm going to use is the color selection tool. And if I use this tool, I can just click on the orange and it will try to select most of the orange in the picture. The hues of orange that are similar to the one that I clicked on within a certain range. Now I can change that range, change that threshold by clicking right here, and I'm going to up it to 20. I'm going to hit Control Z and I'm going to try again. And it did okay. I want it to select a little bit more, so I'm going to change the range one more time and see how that works for me. I'm going to hit Control Z again and try one last time, and it did a pretty good job. I'm going to hit Control X just to see what this looks like. And you can see it missed a little bit right here, a little bit right there, and a little bit right over here, and then of course some over in these areas. So I'm going to hit Control Z again and again so that I'm back to this original part with just me in front of a solid color. And then I'm going to click on this area while holding the Shift key down. So I click, and now I'm going to click over here where I know there was a little bit missing. And then I know I'm going to click right over here where there was some missing, and then I'm going to click right over here too. And now if I, oh, it looks like there's a little bit right there. I'll click on that too. Now if I hit Control X, you can see that I have isolated myself from the rest of this picture so that it's just me. Now, the reason I've done this is because I'm a teacher, not a doctor, so I don't really get to go on very many exotic vacations, but I sure would like to. And so to see the world, I'm going to Google some images here. I've always wanted to go to China, so let's Google the Great Wall of China. And I'm going to click on images. And let's see here, under search tools, I want to click on usage rights. I want to make sure that I'm only using photos I'm allowed to use. And I want a bigger photo here, so let's see, large, and let's see, oh, it looks like there's a nice picture of the Great Wall of China right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one because it looks like I could just put myself right here. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on View Image. And the reason I clicked on View Image is so that I could get the maximum resolution here. If I right click on it now, I can hit Save Image As. I'll put that on my desktop and hit Save. Now at this point, it's really key that you do something very important, and that is we're going to copy this URL. When it comes time to document what you've done, you need to have this URL, and we're going to go ahead and put it into our slideshow right now. So I'm going to go to my GIMP portfolio. I'm going to go to the very last slide and then click on New Slide. And I want to get a layout that's going to suit this fairly well. So let's see, apply layout. I want one that has just something in the bottom, and I'm going to paste that text right here. And I'll make it so that it goes across the entire screen. And to make it so it's not annoying, it doesn't have the annoying wrap, I'm going to highlight it and make it a little bit smaller because it doesn't really need to be that big. It's just for people who want to follow up and make sure that I'm giving credit where it's due. And then just to be really courteous to those who are wanting to do that, I'm going to make it into a hyperlink. Okay, so now that I've cited where this picture originally came from, it's time to go finish my trip here. The picture that I got from the internet's right here. I'm going to right click on it and hit open with GIMP. And when I used the color selection tool, it selected all of the orange, which means it did not select me. I'm the only thing that's not selected in this image. I need to select myself, and the easiest way to do that is to go to Select and Invert. So now I am the thing that's selected. If I hit Control C and then go over here to this image of the Great Wall of China, I can hit Control V. And now I'm there. So now that I have my picture inside this background picture here of the Great Wall of China, it's time to scale it because right now I look like a giant. So I'm going to use the scale tool and I'm going to click on myself, and I need to make sure that I have this part checked, because if I don't have it checked, then when I try to scale it, you can see I can make myself distorted, I can make myself fat, or I can make myself thin. And if I do that wrong, people aren't going to believe that I actually visited the Great Wall of China, because I'll look a little weird. So I'm going to click on this to link the two together to make sure that if I change the width, the height automatically changes. And I'm going to scale myself quite a bit so I'm tiny enough that it looks like I actually visited. And I'm going to hit the scale button now. And here I am way down here, but I don't want to be down there. I need to move myself up so that I'm in the picture. And I'm just going to put myself right over here. And I still look too big. So I think what I'm going to do is scale myself just a little bit, well, quite a bit more actually. Let's see here. I think that probably looks good. I don't know. I've never been to the Great Wall of China, obviously, so it's hard for me to say if, I'm to scale. But I'll go ahead and just pop myself right here and maybe like that. And then if anybody, wants to argue, they can go visit it and see if my dimensions are correct. I'm going to click on to new layer here, and now there I am in China. To cite this or to demonstrate knowledge of this skill, all you need to do is go File, Export As, and then I'm just going to name this China Trip and put it on my desktop and export. And I'll export it again. And then I'm just going to put it in my slideshow right here. So insert image, China Trip. There we go, and I'll scoot it over so it's centered here. Okay.